Have you noticed that carbs don't sit well with your body anymore? No matter how careful you are? As we age, our metabolism slows, our insulin response shifts, and our bodies become far less forgiving when it comes to what we eat, especially carbs. That plate of pasta or slice of white bread that once gave us quick energy may now leave us sluggish, bloated, and even moody. And yet many older adults continue to rely on these very same foods, unaware that they're working against their energy, brain clarity, and long-term health. In this video, we're diving into 6 smart food swaps that can make a big difference for your body after 60. We're not just talking about weight here. We're talking about sharper thinking, steadier moods, stronger digestion, and even better sleep, all by cutting out the carbs that drag you down and choosing what your body actually thrives on instead. These aren't trendy fixes or complicated diets. They're simple changes you can start making right now, using everyday foods that support your health and vitality. Stay tuned until the end because you'll discover not just what to eat, but why these choices matter more than ever as you age. And most importantly, how these 6 changes can help you feel like yourself again, or maybe even better. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now let's get started. Number 1, beans instead of bread or pasta. One of the smartest swaps you can make in your later years is trading in refined carbs, like white bread and pasta for hearty, fiber-rich beans. It might not sound like a big change, but the impact on your health can be profound. When you eat bread or pasta made from refined flour, your body quickly turns it into sugar, which causes your blood sugar to spike and then crash. Over time, this roller coaster effect can leave you feeling drained, mentally, foggy, and even anxious. But beans, on the other hand, release energy slowly, giving your body a steady source of fuel without the ups and downs. What's remarkable about beans like lentils, black beans, or navy beans is that they're packed with both fiber and protein. This means you stay full longer, feel satisfied without overeating, and give your digestive system the help it needs. As we age, digestion can become sluggish, and fiber plays a key role in keeping things moving. Plus, protein becomes more important as we try to preserve our muscle mass and maintain strength. With beans, you're getting both in one simple, affordable food. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you move away from refined carbs. Many older adults, whether they realize it or not, have developed a comfort-based attachment to things like toast, rolls, and spaghetti. These foods remind us of family dinners, comfort meals, and simpler times. But just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's helping you now. In fact, those very foods may be standing between you and better energy, clearer thinking, and improved metabolism. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 74 and used to eat toast with every meal, white toast for breakfast, sandwich bread at lunch, and rolls at dinner. He felt tired all the time and chalked it up to age. But after gradually swapping his toast and pasta for black beans and chickpeas, he noticed something surprising: his digestion improved. He had fewer cravings and his afternoon naps became optional, not necessary. He didn't overhaul his life. He just replaced what wasn't working with something better. That's the power of this swap. It's not just about removing something, it's about replacing it with something that supports your body and your brain. Beans also have another quiet benefit. They help regulate cholesterol and protect your heart, which becomes more and more important the older we get. And unlike trendy health foods that cost a fortune, beans are accessible and easy to work into your meals. Toss them in salads, soups, or just warm them up with some olive oil and herbs. They're as flexible as they are powerful. If you've been relying on bread or pasta as your go-to comfort food, it's worth asking yourself whether that comfort is worth the cost to your body. There's nothing wrong with craving something satisfying, but it's even more satisfying when it gives something back. Beans do that. And over time, they can become not just part of your meal, but part of how you take care of yourself with intention and wisdom. Number 2, healthy fats instead of sugary snacks. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make, often without even realizing it, is reaching for sugary snacks when energy runs low. Cookies, pastries, sweetened granola bars, or even fruit juices might seem harmless, but they can quietly sabotage your health. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to sugar, and what once gave you a temporary pick-me-up now leaves you feeling sluggish, irritable, and craving more. The key to breaking this cycle isn't just about removing sugar. It's about replacing it with something your body actually needs: healthy fats. Healthy fats like those found in avocados, walnuts, almonds, and olive oil nourish your brain, support your heart, and help keep your hormones balanced. These fats don't cause your blood sugar to spike and crash. Instead, they provide sustained energy and help you feel full longer. And that's especially important in older age, when your metabolism naturally slows and hunger signals can become confusing. By choosing healthy fats over sugar, you're giving your body fuel that works with you, not against you. Let's be honest, many of us grew up in a time when fat was the enemy. We were told to avoid it at all costs. But the science has changed, and we now know that good fats are not only safe, they're essential. They help protect against cognitive decline, support joint health, and even improve mood. When you snack on a handful of almonds or spread some avocado on whole grain crackers, you're not just avoiding sugar. You're actively building a better foundation for your well-being. Take Margaret, for instance. She's 68 and used to reach for something sweet every afternoon. It became a habit, something small to lift her spirits. But the more she did it, the more sluggish she felt by evening. When she started swapping those snacks for olives, nuts, or slices of avocado with lemon, she noticed her energy stayed steady and her mood didn't crash. What's more, she stopped needing to snack so often because she felt satisfied. It wasn't about eating less. It was about eating smarter. This kind of change also affects how you see yourself. When you make deliberate food choices that truly serve you, you start feeling more in control, not just of your appetite, but of your day. Sugary snacks often come with a side of guilt, especially when you know they're not doing you any favors. But healthy fats don't carry that weight. They nourish without the crash, and they leave you feeling better, not worse. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes. For many of us, white potatoes have been a staple on the dinner plate for decades, mashed, baked, or fried. They're warm, familiar, and undeniably comforting. But as we age, those same potatoes that once felt like a hearty side dish may be doing more harm than good. White potatoes are high on the glycemic index, meaning they convert to sugar in the body very quickly. That sudden surge can strain your blood sugar, leaving you tired, foggy, or even irritable not long after eating. Over time, this pattern can quietly wear down your energy, your mood, and your long-term health. Now here's the good news. You don't have to give up comfort food to make a better choice. Sweet potatoes offer the same warm, starchy satisfaction, but with far more benefits and a much gentler impact on your blood sugar. They're rich in fiber, vitamins like A and C, and they contain antioxidants that help reduce inflammation. That last part is especially important because chronic inflammation is a major contributor to many age-related diseases, from joint pain to heart issues to memory decline. What makes sweet potatoes so special isn't just what they give, it's also what they don't take away. Unlike white potatoes, which can leave you feeling sleepy or bloated, sweet potatoes tend to energize and satisfy without the crash. They support your immune system, your skin health, and your digestive health, all things that become more important with each passing year. And if you're watching your blood pressure, the potassium in sweet potatoes helps balance sodium and support heart function in a gentle, natural way. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 79 and grew up in a meat and potatoes household. Every dinner had some form of white potato on the plate. He didn't think much of it until his doctor suggested he try sweet potatoes for a month. Frank wasn't convinced at first. He liked his routine. But after a few weeks of swapping mashed white potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes with herbs, he noticed his digestion improved, his afternoon energy lasted longer, and surprisingly, he didn't miss the old version at all. In fact, he started experimenting with different spices and ways to prepare them, something he hadn't done in years. This kind of change may seem small, but the effect it can have on your day-to-day life is real. You're not giving up comfort, you're redefining it. Sweet potatoes can become a reliable, feel-good part of your meals, not just nutritionally, but emotionally. You still get that cozy feeling from a warm, familiar side dish, but this time, it's working with your body, not against it. And that's what aging well is really about, honoring your needs today, not clinging to habits from yesterday. When you replace white potatoes with sweet potatoes, you're not just making a food swap, you're making a values shift. You're choosing nourishment over nostalgia, strength over spikes, and intention over habit. And the more you do that, the more your body will thank you, not just today, but years down the road. Number 4, low-carb vegetables instead of rice or noodles. For many older adults, rice or noodles have become the backbone of quick, satisfying meals. They're easy to cook, easy to chew, and pair well with almost anything. But ease and comfort can come at a cost, especially when it comes to your blood sugar, weight, and inflammation. Both white rice and traditional noodles are high in simple carbohydrates, and the body breaks them down rapidly into sugar. That sugar spike might not cause immediate problems, but over time, it contributes to insulin resistance, fatigue, and even chronic conditions that can silently chip away at your quality of life. Here's the thing. Your body isn't just reacting to the food you eat. It's responding to patterns. When those patterns are made up of high-carb meals day after day, year after year, it becomes harder for your system to regulate itself. But the fix doesn't have to be complicated. Swapping rice or noodles with low-carb vegetables like cauliflower, zucchini, or spaghetti squash is a powerful way to turn things around without sacrificing the texture or satisfaction you're used to. These vegetables are incredibly versatile and surprisingly filling. Cauliflower can be riced and sautéed to mimic the fluffiness of traditional rice. Zucchini can be spiralized into long, noodle-like strands that hold sauces beautifully. Spaghetti squash, once roasted, pulls apart into golden threads that resemble pasta and soak up flavors in a way that feels deeply familiar. But beyond their versatility, these swaps bring something more important to the table. They help lower inflammation, ease digestion, and stabilize blood sugar. As we get older, inflammation becomes a quiet but dangerous part of aging. It can cause joint pain, fatigue, and cognitive decline, and many of the foods we eat either fight it or feed it. Low-carb vegetables are packed with antioxidants, fiber, and water, which help cool down the body's internal stress. They also support your gut health, which plays a much bigger role in mood, immunity, and even memory than most people realize. Let me share the story of Diane. She's 70 and used to eat pasta at least 3 nights a week. It was easy, familiar, and something she could make quickly after a long day. But she started noticing her hands felt swollen, her knees ached more than usual, and her energy dipped after dinner. Her doctor mentioned the possibility of inflammation and suggested she try swapping some of her carbs for vegetables. At first, Diane was skeptical, but she gave it a try, starting with zucchini noodles under her favorite tomato sauce. Within a few weeks, her joint discomfort started to fade, and her evenings no longer ended in a fog of fatigue. She didn't feel deprived, she felt better. That's the real magic of this kind of change. It's not about giving things up, it's about gaining back what matters: comfort without the crash, satisfaction without the soreness, and ease without the damage. And just as important, these swaps keep you engaged with your food. They invite you to try something new, to be creative, and to take ownership of your health in a way that feels empowering rather than overwhelming. If you've ever felt stiff after dinner or sluggish in the morning, after a heavy meal the night before, it might be time to re-examine what's really on your plate. Rice and noodles might be easy, but so is roasting some cauliflower or sautéing zucchini in garlic and olive oil. The real shift happens when you realize you're not just feeding yourself, you're investing in your future. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, fermented foods instead of carb-heavy side dishes. For many years, side dishes like dinner rolls, mashed potatoes, and buttered corn have been considered the comforting backdrop to a good meal. They're soft, starchy, and familiar, easy to prepare, and even easier to overeat. But these carb-heavy sides, especially when eaten regularly, can quietly do more harm than good. They spike your blood sugar, promote bloating, and offer little to no benefit to your gut health. And as you get older, your gut plays a far more important role than most people realize. It's the foundation of your digestion, your immunity, and even your mental clarity. One of the most powerful things you can do for your gut and for your overall well-being is to add fermented foods to your meals in place of traditional starches. Foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt with live cultures, or even small servings of miso can introduce beneficial bacteria that your body truly needs. These probiotics help maintain a healthy balance in your gut, improve digestion, and may even help ease chronic issues like constipation, inflammation, and fatigue. Unlike starchy side dishes that may fill your belly but leave you sluggish, fermented foods support your body on a much deeper level. What's remarkable is how little it takes to see a difference. You don't need to fill your plate with kimchi or sip on kefir all day long. A small portion alongside your regular meals can begin to reset your internal system and help your body absorb nutrients more effectively. This becomes especially important with age, as our ability to absorb key nutrients like calcium, B vitamins, and magnesium tends to decline. A well-balanced gut helps make sure those nutrients don't just pass through, but actually get used where they're needed. Take Edward, for example. He's 76 and had struggled with bloating and irregular digestion for years. He thought it was just part of aging, something he had to live with. But after a conversation with a friend, he started adding a tablespoon of sauerkraut to his lunch and a small glass of kefir to his evening routine. Within 2 weeks, he noticed less bloating, more regularity, and an unexpected bonus. His mind felt clearer. He said it was like a fog had lifted. And all it took was a simple swap on his plate. There's also something empowering about taking charge of your gut health. It reminds you that you're not at the mercy of your body, you can work with it. And fermented foods, with all their tangy flavor and ancient tradition, bring a sense of vitality back to the table. They don't just replace something old. They reconnect you to something wise, something time-tested, and something that brings your whole system into better balance. Of course, not everyone likes the taste of fermented foods right away. They can be strong, even surprising. But like many good habits, they grow on you. Start small. A spoonful here, a sip there. Give your body time to adjust and give yourself credit for trying something new. This isn't just a food choice, it's a form of self-care. It's a quiet statement that you value your health, your clarity, and your comfort. Number 6, low-sugar fruits instead of traditional desserts. Dessert has always been one of life's simple pleasures. A slice of pie after dinner, a scoop of ice cream on a warm evening, or a few cookies with your afternoon coffee. These small treats have a way of comforting us. But as we get older, the way our bodies respond to sugar changes dramatically. What once felt like a harmless indulgence now lingers in the form of brain fog, aching joints, restless sleep, or stubborn weight that refuses to budge. And while no one is saying you can never enjoy a treat again, the truth is, the more sugar we remove from our daily routine, the better we tend to feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. So what's the alternative? It's simpler than you might think. Instead of reaching for traditional desserts loaded with added sugars and processed ingredients, choose low-sugar fruits like berries, citrus, or even a few slices of pear or apple with cinnamon. These fruits are naturally sweet, packed with fiber, and loaded with antioxidants that actively fight inflammation and support healthy aging. They give you the taste of something sweet without the crash or the blood sugar roller coaster. There's a subtle but powerful difference between eating sugar out of habit and choosing natural sweetness with purpose. When you eat a bowl of fresh blueberries or a few strawberries after dinner, you're not just satisfying a craving, you're nourishing your body, helping your memory, and supporting your heart. The fiber in these fruits slows down the release of sugar into your bloodstream, meaning you get energy without the spike. And that means fewer cravings, steadier moods, and better sleep at night. Let me tell you about Lorraine. She's 81 and had a habit of ending every dinner with a slice of cake or a few cookies. She didn't think much of it. It was just her way of winding down. But she started noticing her hands felt stiff in the morning, her memory wasn't quite as sharp, and her energy dipped more than it used to. Her granddaughter, who'd been reading about sugar and aging, suggested a small change. Together, they started making simple desserts with berries, Greek yogurt, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Lorraine didn't expect much, but after a few weeks, she felt more energetic, her joints felt less tight, and she even said her sleep became more restful. That's the kind of quiet transformation that sneaks up on you. Not with fanfare, but with peace. You don't miss the heavy desserts as much as you expect, because your body begins to feel lighter, clearer, and more steady. And you start to realize that true satisfaction doesn't come from sweetness alone. It comes from how you feel afterward. When dessert leaves you feeling nourished instead of drained, it becomes something you look forward to with pride, not guilt. Choosing fruit over processed dessert is more than a dietary swap. It's a gesture of care toward yourself. It says, I want to feel good tomorrow, not just I want to taste something now. And when you make that kind of choice consistently, the effects ripple out into every part of your life, your clarity, your energy, your movement, even your confidence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a quiet moment to reflect on the 6 changes we've explored. Maybe 1 or 2 stood out to you, maybe all of them did. The important thing to remember is that aging doesn't mean losing control over how you feel. In fact, it can be a season of renewal, where each choice becomes an opportunity to support your energy, protect your brain, and strengthen your body. Which of these swaps feels most doable for you right now? Maybe it's adding beans to your salad, or keeping berries on hand for your after-dinner treat. These aren't dramatic overhauls. They're gentle adjustments that build momentum over time. And that momentum can shift how you move through the day, how you sleep at night, and even how you see yourself. This isn't just about avoiding carbs. It's about choosing foods that respect your body, honor your experience, and give back more than they take. You've spent a lifetime caring for others, building families, working hard, and pushing through. Now it's time to give that same care and intention to yourself, one meal at a time. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.